Hi everyone, welcome to day 3 of our Advent page from Agotapop's Christmas Magic Tiny Illustrations. Today we are on this page, bear with me, I should have organised myself on this page. Just pop those away. I put the first page up every time so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to do this little ribbon, little bow, why not? Just a little thing. I do like colouring a little bow. Now we can choose any colour. I am thinking, I'm looking at what's around it on my page. I'm just going to straighten it on my book. There we go. I'm leaning on a Colouring Heaven magazine actually. Now what should we do colour wise? We could, I've got a plan. Right, we're going to do a base colour and then we're going to add some other colours in. I don't know how well it's going to work, so you might want to hold back. Well, you would have seen the thumbnail, so you know if you like it. So my base colour is going to be a blue. I've planned this well, you can tell. Yes, I'm going to use the light phthalo blue for my base colour. Here it is, light phthalo blue. And I'm going to put a light layer of this all over, so the aim is to cover it enough so you can see there's blue there. Don't press too hard. It's quite tricky when you've got a really sharp point, which I've just created. If you go like that, you'll get a really deep mark. So I'm colouring on the side of the pencil to make sure it's a bit lighter. So this is the beginning. I know it's not a very Christmassy colour. I'm hoping it will look a little more Christmassy once I try to get my plan working. I'd really love it. Can you just tell me if it looks okay? Because you can look at the thumbnail and check. How confusing. Right, I'm going to use a dark blue now. This is actually the dark indigo, just to put some shadows in before we start messing around with our pattern. Now this piece here is a crease, can you see that's drawn in? So we're going to put that quite dark there. Plus here, this is dark, just there, and there, and here, just where it's all sort of scrunched up a little bit, and a bit here. And then I'm just going to put a tad here as well, like that. Just to start to think about the shape. I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom as well, like that. Then I'm going to go slightly darker and I'm going to use the phthalo blue. This is the darker phthalo blue. There's a light middle. This isn't called dark, it's just the darker one. Just to confuse us all. Or it's not as confusing as Castle Arts, where sometimes they're I'm just going to extend this dark area a little bit. Sometimes they're lighter colours that have got light in the name are actually darker than the ones that don't. Yeah, I get confused. I'm just trying to think this through as I go. What can I do to make this work in the way that I'm hoping? I was going to say visualising, I'm not, because I can't. But what I get confused about is this is really thick here, but this is thin. How has that happened? In a real bow, that would be much thicker because it would be the same thickness as that. Maybe I'm just being a bit picky, but it's easier to colour this way. Light phthalo blue, which is probably why it's drawn like that. So we're back to our light phthalo blue, and we're going to just saturate a little bit. Now still, I need it not too dark, because there are going to be other layers of colour going on top in a minute, and I hope it's going to work. Now, of course, if it doesn't, I haven't done any more on this page. I can ditch the video and reprint the page. But I've got confidence that I can pull it off. I just haven't quite tried anything exactly like this before. So here's our blue bit done, but I want this to have a pattern on it. So we've got our shape now from the shading of the blue. So I'm hoping that when I add my next colour, it probably won't need as much help with the shape. Fingers crossed. So I was thinking tartanish, but it's not quite the right shade of blue. But I'm going to add a green in here and hopefully a red, and I hope it's going to just work. Cross your fingers for me. So here is the deep cobalt green. It's a bluey green. It's a purposeful choice. I think it'll work. I'm going to start on these pieces and I'm going to go across. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in one direction and another colour in a different direction. Hope I can make like a tartan. Daring, huh? So here we go with my first line. Now as I come to this bit that I've marked out that's lighter, I need to have a lighter touch with my green. Like that. It does look a bit odd at the moment, but once we put a red one through, that's the plan anyway. And I hope it's just gonna come together like that. And the stripe will be the same on here in this sort of direction, but on this one it's going to go this way. I think that's how it would work. Now the difficult bit here is trying to get the gap between each one the right amount and sort of shaping it to the shape of the bow, but I think I'm there. I'm doing the best I can, just hoping it's going to work. This one's going to be right on the edge, it's a bit easier. There we go. And now I want a red. I think I'm going to have to go for quite a dark red. I'm going to use the middle cadmium red. Whoops, it's really quite dark, and go the other way. Now on our strand, I think it's easier to just go right down the middle. But of course, remembering that I've got to put more down here at the bottom and less towards this middle bit here, and then a bit more here to try and give that illusion that it's faded. It's quite hard. I think the best thing is to just layer up in the darker bits, and then, because it's quite a dark colour anyway. Now here we've got to sort of follow that line, the shape of the ribbon. Now if you don't like this, or you don't want to have a go at it, that's fair enough. You can just leave it with the blue. She says now, if you've already copied me, it's a bit late, isn't it? But yes, if you're just watching this and not following along, and I fade this to the top, you can just do the blue. Now here you see we've got, it spreads out, so it's a bit tricky to know how to, I'm going to do one in the middle first, like that. It needs to be darker here and here, and then I think I'm going to have to sort of go like that. That one will be on the edge, like that. Same here, I'm going to put one down. Whoops, out of the line she goes. I shall try and erase that in a minute. Down the middle, right on this edge. It's easier to follow the edge, get the angle right. And then this one, I'm not going to go quite to the edge, like that. Now I'm just going to get my eraser where I went over the lines and just have a little look and assess what I did. It's not too bad, is it? For a first attempt at doing a tartan, I think I'm quite pleased. Gone out of the lines there, but I'm not going to worry about that. There we go. I don't think, I'm wondering if I need to add a bit more. I am just going to, it's very pale up here. I'm just going to put a tad more there. But there we are. A little tartan bow. I think that's okay. I'm quite pleased with that, I have to say. So that was quite short, but quite intense. I did enjoy it, but wow. I was a bit nervous about that one, but I'm pleased with how it's come out. So there we go. there is our little advent bow for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that was okay. Enjoy the rest of your day and happy colouring.